Okay, good morning. So we are on the third week of our ritual challenge, and I hope you enjoyed last week's bits and pieces that I showed you to put into practice and see how that feels for you. And obviously a lot of you started looking into the cards and stuff, so that's really cool. And then the heart opening. So if I could just go back to what we've been doing over the last 3 weeks and what I've been trying to teach. So first it was really simple, and then last week we started upping a bit, especially with connecting with the heart and stuff, so that you can start feeling what it feels like within your body to start connecting with your heart. So the whole thing for me is all of my choices in terms of what I do every single day with my ritual or how I go is based on what my body is telling me, also what is my intuition telling me. Okay, so it's really important to understand that you tune in every day to see what is it that I need right at this point in time. Okay, because your body is going to tell you where you are at in your spiritual, mental, emotional, physical side. Okay, because it's your radar. Like I've taught you guys, it's your radar, so it is there and it's always showing you what you need to do. Okay, so today we are going to work with 2 new ways that you can introduce this week. I think the first one I'll talk about today is about high vibrational music and about frequency. Okay, so frequency for me is one of the most important things, and it's really all about, again, hello, sweetheart, yellow. I love that. I assume that's hello. And I assume you can hear me, so that's also good. Okay, so frequency is really important because, and I'm laughing now because Eleanor's on, and her and I speak about this a lot. It's about the water in your body, okay? And your body is made up of water and its little molecules and all these little things, and they all vibrate. And every single part of you has got a frequency. So your heart's got a frequency, your lungs have got a frequency, your liver's got a frequency, your kidneys have got a frequency, everything's got a frequency, your emotional state has got a frequency. So it's all got, if you think about hertz, it's like there's like, so there's a baseline there, and like you either underneath it or above it or in tune with it, okay? And it's the same with energy between us. Like, do we vibrate on the same level? So everything is about vibration, because everything vibrates. All of these cells, everything within us vibrates. So what I do with frequency music and with solfeggio is I literally tune into what is it that I need right now. Okay, so if I feel like my heart's got an issue, I will go and look for high vibrational music that will help me to get my vibration of my heart right again. If I, for instance, am tapping into my throat and I'm finding that I can't speak my truth, I will go and look for music that will help me speak my truth. So I will look for throat frequency music. Okay, so the beautiful thing is that Google is your friend and YouTube is your friend in this regard, and you use them to see what type of music I can look at and what I can use. Okay, so for me, I've like on my YouTube, and I use these like super often. I've got my little inbox. I don't know if you're a YouTube subscriber and you use it, you've got a little inbox. And one of the guys, I've put it into the manual for you guys this week, Love Motives Meditations. So he does like super high vibe stuff, and I absolutely love his music because I find it quite, it's rather trippy, and it's fabulous because it takes me out of myself and into other spaces or higher frequencies. So what I do in the mornings is I will go through it and I'll go, oh, okay, in the last 4 days, 5 days, he's done this. So like in the last 2-3 days, he's put heart chakra, ascended masters, throat chakra, manifesting, all that type of stuff. So I look into it and I stop with each of them and I go, does this feel right? Doesn't it feel right? My thing is if I tune into my body and it's open, then I feel, okay, that's cool. I'm going to go with that today. If I tune in and my body's going closed and I stop, I breathe, and I say to my heart, am I closed, am I open? And if I'm closed, I'm not going to listen to that frequency. Okay, so start thinking about that and using that. Like you're using your your antenna. This thing is awesome, guys. You need to like really start getting into using this thing. Okay, then I want to talk about the solfeggio frequencies as well. I'll post this link in my documentation as well for you guys, and then you can just go and have a look. So there's these 6 frequencies, and they come from like 1000 AD. Okay, so the Gregorian monks and stuff used to chant, and they would chant to these frequencies, and it would help with like releasing and transformation and all that type of stuff. So if you have maybe started, you know, listening to things or looked into frequency, you might recognize some of these frequencies. So 5 to 8 is a very common one that's out there, and that one is for transformation. 852, spiritual order, that type of stuff. So there's these 6 frequencies that they've got, and all you have to do on YouTube is you just go and look for solfeggio, and you go and look what those frequencies mean, and you see where you are at, and you can then actually listen to those frequencies while you're meditating. And what happens is all you do is you just tune into it, and then that will raise your vibration. Okay, so there's so much stuff out there, but these 2 for me is quite important. So the one is like high vibrational music. And you want to check on the hertz levels. Okay, so HZ, and see what they are, because some of them go up to like 2,500, 1,000 hertz, and that's literally like your crown chakra will be like on fire when you do that. So actually, just to also bring that in, for me, my chakra system is very important. So I think most people know about this, but I'm quickly just going to run through it if you've never even heard of it. So basically, there's 7 energy centers within the body, and then there's a couple of energy centers that's outside of the body. For me, I mostly work with my 7 energy centers that's within my body. But when I do work with you guys, or if I do group meditations or whatever, then I'll work with like Soul Star, which is outside of us, or Earth Star, which is also outside of us, but which is still connected to us. Okay, so our 7 chakras that we've got is right at the bottom. There's the root that connects us to the earth. That's our safety, security. Then we move up, just underneath your belly button is the sacral chakra, and each one of these have got a color. Okay, so the root is red. The sacral chakra it's like an orangey color, and sacral chakra is all about creativity. It's about our sexuality. It's about how we express and birth into the world. Okay, so that one is a big one, especially now in this time, because there's a lot of rebirth happening within ourselves, and there's a lot of birthing of new ideas and stuff. So that one is definitely a good one to start tuning into to see where you are at. The next one is the solar plexus. So that literally sits just under your diaphragm, and that's where you hold fear. Okay, solar plexus is your power center. It's yellow. It's like your internal sun. So it literally radiates your power out, but this is where we hold our fear and a lot of past life stuff and everything attached to that energy center in our body. If you can imagine, like persecution energy, that whole vibe, like loves to sit over there. Then we move up. We've got the heart space. You guys know how much I love the heart space. Everything for me is about here because it's in the middle of the 7. So it connects the bottom chakras and then the top chakras, and they all come together here. So it's this little center of harmony and balance. Okay, and that it's got to do with love. It's got to do with the heart. It's about my connection to everything as well. And then I move up to my throat. There is also the higher thymus, but I'm not going to go into that right now. But then there's my throat. And throat is about speaking my truth and about being in my truth. So this thing is like super duper about your truth. So if you are in situations where you are not able to speak your truth, where you're keeping quiet, where you're not expressing yourself, you're always going to have thyroid issues, problems like that. Believe me, been there, done that. So this has been one of my greatest teachers and also one of my beautiful obstacles in life, but one that I've climbed over. So it's fabulous. And I really love my throat. The color there is blue. Okay. In the heart, the color is like pink or green. Okay. So it's a combination. People see it differently. And I'll talk about that a little bit now when I get into the next section. Okay. So we've got the throat, that's blue. And then we've got the third eye, which is where the intuition sits, where it's my ability to look into other realms, see beyond the veil, look within myself, all of that. The color of that for me is purple. And this one obviously is one that I think if you're on a spiritual journey, you're wanting to focus a lot here, because this, for me, connects us to our inner wisdom as well. Okay, and then the last one of the 7 is the crown. So that's at the top of the head. This is always, if you've done Reiki or anything like that, you can imagine that's where the energy comes from. That's your connection to the great I am. People also see it as your connection to your soul, etc. So it's literally, it's like this portal that connects you to the cosmos. So you'll always hear me when I'm taking you into meditation. We let the light come through the crown and into the body. Okay, so this is a very important spot. One thing also there is that if it's too open, it's not a good thing, and if it's too closed, it's not a good thing. So you want to maintain a healthy balance there, that you know what you're letting in and out there. Okay, so that's just, someone needed to hear that. Okay, so those are the chakras, and then basically the frequencies. You can go and look for music that relates to your throat or your third eye or your crown, whatever you're feeling that you're needing to look into. And a lot of people will say, but I don't know what I need to look into. Again, I want you to start connecting with the first thing that comes up. So like I'm always teaching you guys, it's about like, if you sit and you get quiet and you start your meditation practice. So if you go back to page 1 about like breathing and doing your things, set your intention. What is it that I need to know today? The first thing that pops into your head, if your throat pops into your head, that's what I need to work with today. If your solar plexus pops into your head, that's what you need to work for today. So get out your phone, start Googling solar plexus meditations, okay? Solar plexus high frequency meditations, whatever it is for you. So, but start listening to that first thing, okay? Because the first thing is the most important thing. And you can try and rationalize your brain in there, whatever, but you need to listen to the intuition, okay? So that's basically the high vibe meditation music, and I'm going to give you guys the links. It's in the document. This week for a few days, for 3 days, try that, see how it feels for you. It's really awesomely spacey for me. So do make sure that you ground properly. You've got the instructions on page 1 of the manual, so it's there. Ground yourself, make sure that you come out your meditation properly. And for these ones, I always set a timer, because if I left myself, again, I'll just be off with the fairies for the day. Okay, so that's really important. So keeping in the theme of frequencies and tuning into frequencies today, my second favorite thing in the world after cards is crystals. Okay, so I'm going to show you some crystals today and just show you how I meditate with crystals, because again, crystals helps us to get our frequency intact. And the whole thing about doing meditation is so that your frequency is in a good space when you start your day, so that you can go out and conquer the world or do whatever the hell you need to do, but you are in a good space. Okay, your frequency, your vibration is high enough so that you can actually go out into the world and do stuff. Now, I thought it was interesting this morning when I got dressed, because I've got this Aqua Aura quartz, and it's my Mary Magdalene quartz. And I was like, ooh, I fancy wearing that today because it's blue and it's fabulous and it sort of goes with this. And then as I tried to get it off my stand that's got all my crystal necklaces, it didn't want to come off. And I'm like, okay, someone's trying to tell me something here. Then I touched another crystal and my body just went no. And I basically then found this one, which I haven't worn for probably about like 3 years. And I was like, what's this about? And then when I looked at the crystal, yesterday, I started working with Metatron, and the crystal that came up with Metatron was clear quartz. And I'm like, okay, cool. I need to wear clear quartz today. So again, it's like solving mysteries all the time. Okay, we're needing to go from one thing to another thing to go, look at this, I need this today. Okay, so my body is saying to me, I want to work with clear quartz today, so please put it on. And then the whole day, I'm going to be in the energy of my crystal. Okay, I also have a bunch of crystals that I wear around my wrist. These vary. There's 2 that I always wear just because it's also a bit sentimental. But I always wear rose quartz because it's just a hard crystal and it's beautiful. And then I've got some lava stones that my mum gave me because it's sentimental. For the last week, jade came in, so I'm wearing jade this week. Don't know why yet, but I think I'm starting to see what it is. But for me, it's literally, I'll stand in front of my jewelry box and go, today I feel like doing this, and take it out and put it on. Okay, so it's just about, again, What am I feeling? What do I want to do? So I got some crystals out of my immensely humongous crystal collection, which is quite freaky. Hello, Garden Scuddy. Okay, so we're going to start with the chakra crystals. So I'm going to put them all down here on my desk. And then I'm going to show you guys what we do with them. Okay. Right. Okay, so if you need some help with your root, being grounded, you've got issues with family members, belonging, connection with other people, that type of stuff. First thing you do is you tune into your root chakra and you get yourself a red or a brown crystal, okay? So what I do is I then choose the color based on what am I feeling in my body and which chakra I think needs some help. I take the crystal, and then when I do my meditations, I sit with them. I generally, with crystals, like to be quiet, because for me, there's stuff popping up in my head. It's almost like they can give you guidance, okay? Or it's basically allowing you, the right way to look at it, from my point of view, it tunes you into the frequency and allows you to get guidance from your higher self and your guides, okay? So it opens up that radar point. If you can think about a radio station, okay? So like you're dialing, and it puts you onto that frequency, and if I can hear that frequency, then I can hear the words of the radio. Okay, that's what crystals do for me. So like when I hold them, when I wear them, whatever, I'm tuning my little radio. I'm going, and then I can hear the messages, okay? And there'll be one-word things, or they'll just be a flash of inspiration, whatever. So keep your journal close this week. Find yourself a crystal. Like, crystals are everywhere, guys. The most common ones you'll find is like rose quartz. I'll show you those now. But for me, the best advice I ever got was when I bought my very first crystal. I'd like put my hand out and I picked this thing up and I looked at it and I put it down. And the guy was selling the crystal said to me, you have to take the first one that you looked at. Like, I know you're looking at all the other pretty ones, but that one drew you. Okay, so if you walk into a crystal shop or a shop that's got crystals, the first one that's there and you go, I want that one, that's the one you need to start looking at. Okay, so crystals are, they've got frequency, they come from Mother Earth, they're just freaking awesome. These things are like magic, and every single one has got a different meaning. And again, Google is your friend. So I've got a little book that's got like all the meanings, and when I go to the shop, I'll literally just go, okay, I'm taking this one feels good, that one feels good. I get home and then I start looking up what they are, because I don't want to taint it or whatever. And then inevitably it's always right for me. It's exactly what I need at that point in time. Okay, so I'll hold on to the crystal and I will just basically tune in and put it in your hand. Feel what it feels like, because, you know, sometimes you can feel like a pulsing, a vibration. Sometimes it gets really warm in your hand. Sometimes it feels really cold. Whatever sensation you're experiencing, you're basically connecting with this energy, with this frequency, and it's going through your body and working with you on a higher level. Okay, so crystals are amazing. So this is like my shoe problem. I think I've probably got like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of crystals, but it makes me happy. So this one for root. Okay, next one. Find an orange crystal. Orange crystal connects to sacral. Okay, again, when I was in France working on my Mary Magdalene, working with sacral energy, all of that, I literally wore like orange all the time. Like, I had orange crystals around my wrist, and I wore that for, I think it was about a month solid, until I felt, okay, cool, I don't need this anymore. Okay, so again, take the color, tune into the sacral. The sacral is really about, like I said, it's about birthing something new. It's about rebirth. It's about that sexual energy. It's about creativity. So it's such an amazing energy center that is it's almost like people haven't spent time to connect to that part of themselves to birth new things. So take some time, if you can this week, and see if you can find an orange crystal and play around with that a bit. Okay, next one, yellow. Okay, so this is just a little one. And for me, again, very important, connects to your solar plexus. It's all about that sunshine. It's about the sunlight. It's about, if you think about the concept of light workers, and we're bringing that light into the world, it shines from your solar plexus. It's about how you perceive your work. It's about how you perceive yourself. It's about how you are shining out into the world. And what this little crystal will do is it will help you to connect to the blocks that you hold in your solar plexus, the fears that you carry around, so that you can start unearthing them and really start working with them as well. Okay, so this one's very important. Now, one of the most common crystals, which is also the most beautiful crystals, is rose quartz. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but they like in a pink color. This one's a little bit lighter. I got this from a beautiful lady as a gift. It's on my desk. And the minute you pick up this crystal, it's like wrapping yourself in cotton wool. It's the most exquisite feeling for me. Like, it's all soft and it's fabulous, and you just feel like you are completely and utterly immersed in love. Okay, so if you're going to buy a crystal, buy a rose quartz. Just put it on the list. They're super cheap as well, and they are just the best. They basically quartz, but pinky color, so they're very milky pink color, and I have them all over my house. Like, I've literally got them in every single room of the house. I've got rose quartz because that vibration is then in my house as well. Okay, so this one, beautiful. You connect with your heart when you meditate with it, and it's also about, like, what am I lacking in my heart space, in my, like, connection with other people, with the universe, etc. This baby will shine some light on that as well. Now, the other thing is you can also then use green crystals for your heart. So you don't just have to use pink crystals, use green crystals, okay? And then connect with energy. There's loads of interesting crystals, which are green colors and pink colors, that you can use to then connect with the heart space. Okay, then the throat one. Now, the most kick-ass crystal for me when it comes to throat is lapis lazuli, and it just literally, it's the crystal of the pharaohs. It's the crystal of Egypt, and it will make you look at your throat issues in such a clear way. So it's really cool. So lapis lazuli for me has been awesome because it helped me stand into my power, helped me connect with my throat, helped me speak my truth. So this baby, if you can find one, they're also quite common. And you just need a little piece. That's the thing. You don't need like massive crystals, although I love massive crystals, but they're hard to move. But this you can carry with you. You'll see, I think we're always like, my pockets are always full of stuff. My handbags have always got crystals in it. It's a bit of a bad habit, but I do love it. So yeah, this one is quite important. Again, the blue color going with the throat. Okay. Then the third eye. Okay. Amethyst. Again, very, very common crystal. There's a few other crystals that's different colors that you can also use for that, but you'll have to go and look in your on the internet, like look for crystals that help your intuition. Amethyst is the most common one. It was my very, very first crystal that I wore was amethyst when I started on my journey to connect with my intuition. It's a very ancient and spiritual crystal. Okay, so this one is really, it's about opening up here, allowing yourself to start seeing, and a fabulous crystal to meditate with. And this one for me is just beautiful. I've had it for quite a few years. I even use it to clear stuff. So I'll put like jewelry on it and stuff as well. So that really helps. Okay, so last one is the crown. Okay, this is selenite. Selenite is one of my all-time favorite crystals. It's a crystal that does clearing. I have it on my desk, especially when I'm having sessions and stuff, because obviously if I'm working with you, I need to clear my energy so I don't take on your energy. So selenite is very, very powerful. It clears any blocks that you might feel with your crown as well, and it helps you to connect to higher realms. It's a very soft crystal, so this is the type of crystal you don't want to get in like water and stuff. Any crystal that ends with an "ite" should never go near water, okay? Because they're very soft and porous. So this one, fabulous for crown and also like sort of expanding out into the universe. Now, clear quartz like this, again, also great for crown connection, great for cosmic connection. That's very cool. And clear quartz is also a very common one. Okay, so you'll be able to get that anywhere. Now, then there's crystals that's got connections to places and feelings and all that type of stuff. So I was looking this morning on my desk. I've got my Lemurian crystals, and obviously Lemuria, I'll do some lives about Lemuria later this year and about Atlantis later this year. But these crystals have got information about Lemuria and different places. So you just connect with these crystals and you can actually find a lot of information and insight. So that's very cool. If you want to start playing around with crystals a bit. I've got a bit of an Atlantis obsession. This is Atlantis stone as well. Very cool one. Again, directly connected with Atlantis, information about Atlantis. I've just, for some reason, this new little skull baby came my way the other day. It's also connected to Atlantis. So I didn't know that at the time when I bought it, when I was in Glastonbury. But again, it's connected to Atlantis. So spending time with that energy, working with it. And then obviously, I think a lot of you would have seen my other skull baby. This one is agate. And also for me, very deep connection, a lot of information, ancient information in agate as well. And agate's very common. Okay. So basically, it's like fun with crystals. Take the crystals, sit with them in your hand, get quiet and see what comes up. What do they feel like? Okay. And you just need to be in a quiet, still space. Make your mind stop, do your breathing exercises like I've taught you, and then just take some time to connect with the crystals. Okay, so take a couple of days this week. If you can over the weekend, go and try and find a crystal somewhere. And if you can't find a crystal, go pick up a rock in the garden. I've literally meditated with normal rocks that you pick up off the floor, off the ground. They also have messages. They're connected to Mother Earth. They've got frequencies. Okay, they will really ground you. So if that's the case, go and sit with the rock that you get in your garden and meditate. Every single thing, every crystal, every earth element has all got a frequency. So it doesn't matter what you use, you can still connect with the earth. And especially if it's something that comes out your garden, for instance. So I've got this amazing piece of quartz in my garden that my previous owners left, which is just absolutely amazing. It's like massive. It's like this. So obviously it was meant to be here on my property. Great. So yeah, so that's it for this week. We're going to focus on high meditation, solfeggio, high vibe meditation music, solfeggio, and then crystals this week. And then see what comes up for you. How does it feel? Do I like doing this? Do I not like doing this? So introduce it into your first page again in the meditation section, replace there and just introduce these two new aspects there and then see what comes up for you. Okay, so that's cool. And then I'll be going live later in this week to speak a bit about DNA activation as well, one of the new services that I'm offering. So keep an eye out for that. And I will also next week announce the winner, just when we have our little wrap up, announce the winner of the Super Duper prize. So I have introduced a brand new package, which I will also be bringing out in the next week or so. For shadow work, and the person who is going to win that is going to have a truly magical experience of a couple of sessions with me to do some intense growth and shadow work. Okay, so I will be announcing the winner next week. So yeah, that's basically me for the week. Let me know if there's anything, any questions, anything you need to know. I'll email out all the links now, the documentation, and I'll also post it on the group and on my page. And if there's anything you need to know, just let me know. And I hope you're really enjoying this. I've been getting some really beautiful feedback, and I'm very grateful that you guys are participating and really like getting into the space of helping yourself. Okay, so that's it for me. I think that's done, and then we'll connect again next week. Have a beautiful week.